was that? Did you hear that? The walkie-talkie I was holding let out a short beep as I let go of the button used to speak. Yeah, we heard it too. Dylan's voice came through the small speaker. He and Stephen were back in the van, or home base as Stephen liked to call it. We're paranormal investigators, and our last assignment had us out in the middle of nowhere, investigating a creepy-ass abandoned motel that was said to be haunted by some kind of horned, demonic presence. When we stopped to get gas earlier, the teenager behind the counter had a look of concern when we asked him for directions. Sounds good, man, but you might want to wear a hard hat. Why's that? I asked him. Usually when going to these kinds of places, the boys and I brought holy water, not hard hats. Well, I heard the last paying guest who stayed at that place had his head caved in with a rock. His face was unrecognizable. Oh, joy, Dylan had said, grabbing the energy drink off of the counter. Stephen just shook his head. Now, here I was, standing in the middle of room 7 with an exposed cranium and an expensive camera strapped to my chest. Stephen's voice crackled to life over the walkie. Hold tight, Danny, I'm coming. It sounded like someone had thrown a bowling ball onto the floor in the bathroom. My camera was sending a live feed back to the van while those two were swapping out batteries. I inched closer to the door of the bathroom and shone my light around. Tell me your name, I said to the empty room. Silence. Is there a presence here with me? Again, no answer. I clicked the off button on the spirit box strapped to my hip. Guess you're a little shy today, I muttered to the empty room. That's when something grabbed me on the shoulder. I screamed and spun around. It was Stephen. He started laughing, doubling over and clutching his stomach. I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. I figured you would have heard me walk in. He stood up straight and put his hands up, palms facing me in a submissive gesture. I couldn't hear you over the spirit box, jackass. We both laughed at this. Once that little machine was on, it really did make a lot of noise. Well, at any rate, why don't you go put some fresh batteries in that bad boy and we'll meet up with Dylan over in room 10. Roger that, I said, giving him a little salute as I walked out of room 7. I headed down the short concrete steps and across the parking lot to the van. Dylan was sitting in the back, his legs hanging as he fiddled with his own camera. Steve scared the heck out of me in there, nearly crapped my pants. Dylan chuckled as he handed me the USB cable. I'm glad you didn't. I don't think there's anywhere to buy underwear in a 50-mile radius. I plugged one end of the cable into my camera and the other into my laptop. I always like to check my footage as soon as possible. I opened what I needed to see and began to watch. Nothing unusual, just a few minutes of me walking around talking to myself. I fast-forwarded to the end and then let it play through. I got to the point where I was standing in the bathroom just before Stephen walked in. Wait a minute. What was that? Dylan, come look at this. He put down what he was doing and stood next to me, looking at the screen. I pointed at what I was looking at. Whoa, Dylan said. We both looked even closer. Oh my God, I said. I dropped the laptop and we both ran full force back to room 7. Stephen, I shouted. Stephen! We slammed the door open. He wasn't in the main area. We both ran across the room and into the bathroom. He wasn't there. I'm calling the cops, Dylan said, running back to the van to get his phone. I stood there, frozen in shock and horror. On the video of me standing in the bathroom, right before Stephen entered, there was a reflection in the mirror, to the side and about a foot behind me. The reflection was of a man in a black, hooded robe. A man with horns and red eyes. Stephen is still missing to this day.